Welcome back to Graveyard Tours. I haven't shot a video in a little while, so I was driving. I'm in Windber, Pennsylvania, and on the side of this road, there's some waterfalls there, and I found a graveyard I've never seen before. Let me show you this waterfall real quick. Sun's pretty bright. So this is Windber, Pennsylvania, and like I said, there's really no entrance here. You had to park on the side of the road to visit. So somebody's taking care of this cemetery because they're cutting the grass. But I need to show you. This must be the really old part right here, because these are still in the woods, and you know the woods have taken over. You see some really old headstones here. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and risk getting poison ivy. I'm wearing shorts. Finally it's warmed up out here. But I gotta see these headstones here. 1852 it looks like. So these are old. These are really old. Old and forgotten. It's hard to see what the dates on that. I can't read it. And there's a bunch of them. So they're just buried and forgotten out here. And I'm sure there's probably a few more out here too. But you'd have to explore to find more. So who knows where the boundary was? And it looks like there's a headstone there laying in the dirt over there, laying on the top. It's sad that you know, some of these headstones just disappear. Nobody's claiming them anymore, or nobody's taking care of them either. So looks like there's, oh yeah, here's some more. Looks like more headstones around this tree. There were the trees kind of like taking over. Yep, there's some right there. There's some more back there. Yeah, I don't want to get poison ivy, folks, so I'm not gonna trek too much back there. Mary Yost died February 1903, and James Lambert 1903. Wow. So you know what, both buried in different last names, and I've seen that before. That doesn't mean they weren't married, but I think sometimes they did that. Oh, here's some more. So they were both died in 1903, and here's another. Peter Yost died 1903. I don't know if you can see that. So probably a disease took out the family, because like I said, I've seen this many times where whole families were just wiped out. Oh, look at this. Yeah, there's plenty more headstones back here in the woods. Look at these. They're just totally forgotten. 1906. That's not Yonner. That's not so old. And look at this one over here. There's one there. Yeah. So, oh, and this is a vet. Thank you for your service. That's a vet right here, and at least, you know, he's being remembered by the association who plants these flags. And here's a bunch more out here, just, again, forgotten. Look at this. This is pretty wild. I mean, it's sad. It's a sad sight. And here, look at these. These are just laying in, totally forgotten. Yeah, it just goes to show you that we don't, you know, when we're gone, we don't know what's going to happen with us. Look at there's one way back there. Let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, that's a headstone back there. So yeah, I don't know where the boundary lines are, because this is really pretty wild here. This is 1924. So, you know, some of these aren't as old as you would think, but there's a bunch more. There's more. Here's a whole bunch of military guys out here buried. Thank you all for your service. There's flags on these headstones, so somebody is definitely, you know, remembering them. I'm happy to see that. Look at that though. I mean, these are just completely out. You can't even get back there unless you know, you're wearing some slacks. But it's a very small cemetery, and there's the name of it. I think it's called Mount Zion, but I've seen many of whoa, what the hell? Some bird just flew out outside this big tree here. Scared the crap out of me. Yeah, so yeah, look at that. Here's more headstones underneath there. Oh, a bunch of them. So this tree must have been really small when these headstones were, when these, you know, graves were planted here. And now this tree, this evergreen, has grown pretty big. There's a bunch more out here too. Wow. Here's a large, very large headstone right there. Oh, wow. So this, I don't know why they let these old cemeteries get overgrown. Well, part of it is they oh, there's some more. I'm finding them everywhere. Part of it is like these a lot of these churches, so many churches out here in Pennsylvania. There's more out there. They're everywhere. So who knows how far back it goes. I'm sure there's many headstones out here totally forgotten about. And here's, you know, current. But this graveyard's pretty old. A lot of these churches become defunct because they were pretty small, you know, like these are very rural areas. And a lot of these places, a lot of these little churches, you know, maybe only had 20 or 30, you know, people supporting the church. And then, you know, people start dying off and they just become defunct. They can't survive. I've seen so many empty churches out here. It's crazy. I actually know somebody who brought an empty church and turned it into some kind of, like, you know, little club. He's trying to make a living on it. He got it so cheap. Look at all these headstones everywhere. Let's see if I can get any dates on these. He got it very cheap. He got like a church with a house next to it for like $5,000. You know, that's how cheap some of these places are out here. And he's, you know, trying to make a living doing something with it, but I haven't been there in a while, so I don't know how well he's doing. Here's another big old headstone right there. Yeah, I mean, who knows how many forgotten headstones are out here, and just, oh my God, there's so many of them out here. Jesus, I mean, just out, just buried. Yeah, and I'm getting some feelings out here, so maybe this place is, you know, is haunted still. I'm getting a feeling that I'm being watched. So look at that right there. There's another veterans flag. So thank God for those that organization that plants these flags and remembers our vets. Thank you for your service. If it wasn't for that organization, I mean, nobody would go back there to see who that guy was, you know, who served our country and died. But yeah, I'm not even sure the name of this place. We're gonna find out though. So wow, look at this. I mean, it's actually bigger than I thought. Oh, here's a giant headstone way back there in the woods. See, a lot of these are pretty old. So these are the 1893. So like I said, the ones in the woods I saw one date, it was 1853, I believe. Oh, here's a unique one here. Richard T. 1960 infant, June 2nd, 1915. Sons of John and Margaret Marsh. So they died, looks like they died 1 year apart or less. Both their sons. Again, probably a disease. Probably some famine. I don't know what was going around at that time, but there's a bunch of them. I've seen so many whole families wiped out. within like 1 month of each other. Now look at this part here. Now here's somebody who probably had some money. Fawcett, wife, Glasgow, Scotland. Wow, born in Glasgow, Scotland. Amazing. Oh, and it looks like the husband was never buried here, because this is what they did. Let me show you guys this. So it says John Forsyth, 1859 to 19 and no date, because he wasn't buried here. And then Agnes, his wife, 1859 to 1917, born in Glasgow, Scotland. Amazing. And it's, you know, it's got a boundary markers going around. Oh, here's some more back there, and there's another headstone right here, smaller one. So obviously, what does that say? All right, every time I go walking through here with shorts on, but I gotta see what it says. 1934, John Forsyth. Oh, what the heck? 1882. So this isn't the same John. This must be their son. That must be their son. But why the father wasn't buried here? Because that he was born in 1859, and that says 1882. So he was about 30 years old. It looks like when his son was born. So anyway, very interesting. I mean, when you go to these graveyards, you know, you're actually, you know, peeking into people's lives a little bit, you know, and it makes you curious. At least for me, it does. Like what their lives were like, and how they died, and you know, you can tell the ones who had money and who didn't, because they, you know, put some really large headstones. But what's amazing to me, this is a nice view right here. What's amazing to me is that here's a guy who has the largest headstone. It looks like some kind of cedar tree. He's planted 2 cedar trees on either side of the headstone, and nobody's coming out here to visit it. You know, it's the largest headstone, and nobody seems to care. But anyway, so like I said, there's still more headstones back over here, a bunch of more, and there's another one behind there. And I see some more in the woods. So there's quite a few of them out here, just totally forgotten about. So, and here's another boundary markers. So this is probably some, you know, family plot. Let's see what they say here. Father John Sims, 1916. Fammy Sim, 1913, and Harry Brown Sim, 1912. So yeah, this family plot here. Pretty amazing. Of course, you know, a lot of veterans. Thank you all for your service. Always a veteran. I don't think you can go to any graveyard here in Pennsylvania without finding a veteran cemetery, because Pennsylvania is known. They is known for their vets. Samuel Orst, 1920, Pennsylvania Infantry. And also that's Pennsylvania Infantry too. So, Calhan. Okay, Edmund. Yeah, so here, let's straighten this up. Somehow it fell over. There we go. Thank you for your service. Yeah, like I said, I've got the feeling I'm being watched out here. So my spidey senses are kicking in. So maybe I should come out here with my trusty old flashlight to see if I can get any communication with spirits out here. Who knows? To be honest with you, I've never seen this place before. I was just driving around and boom, here it was. I was like, okay, let me stop. So that's what I do, and so, you know, I don't. I guess maybe I kind of kind of a dumb move. I should just carry my stuff with me all the time because beautiful cedar trees here out here. Oh, very old, huge cedar trees. But you know, I don't plan these things. I just drive and then I find something. Then and like I said, my spidey senses are kicking in, and I'm almost certain there's spirit here. Whether they want to communicate or not, I don't know. Look at this. Mother, it says. Susan. Here's some old ones though, but the dates, can't really get dates on most of these. So yeah, there's another one in the ground. Let's see, looks like an old one. Barbara. It looks like 1857. That looks like 1857. It's really hard to tell. It almost, yeah, I believe that's 18. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 1857 Barbara. So pretty old, mid 1800s. So some of these are really old, and there's a lot of 1920s out here. Oh, let's do this real quick. So if anybody ever wanted to travel and try to find this place, come out here, you can. Couldn't tell you how to get out of here because I don't remember how I got out here. I just drove. So let's look at the sign here. See what the name of the cemetery is. Mount Zion Lutheran Cemetery. Yeah, the Lutherans were pretty prominent out here. In fact, most of these churches, I would say probably over half of these churches out here are Lutheran. Okay, folks, that's it. Whew. Like I said, my spidey senses, maybe if I can find this place again, I'm sure I can if I really tried. I should try to see if I can get any communication out here. But that's it, signing off. And I hope you enjoyed this one. And I hope you subscribe. Don't know how much longer I'll be doing this, but I guess for a little while longer, who knows. Thanks for watching.